21st of August 2023. This news flash I want to talk about green energy and specifically about these windmills. Look at this. Bernie's tweets posted on Twitter. UK, oops, wrong kind of wind today. Wind turbine in Scrooby Sands has burst into flames, kicking out more carbon today than it would have reduced in its lifetime. Oh, now look at that gemors. And this is the bullshit around this green thing. This green thing is actually black. And there you can see it. Smoke is black. And then I've seen posts of people that now say that these windmills has got diesel engines in them. Why? The reality is, nowhere in the world has a wind farm ever been profitable. Nowhere. And that is not where it stops. When these things reach end of life, look at this. Look really close at this picture. The yellow thing in the middle above the white is a bulldozer. It is burying windmill blades used for green energy. Why? Because these blades need to be disposed of and there is presently no way to recycle them. That's how green energy works. Not so green after all. Here in South Africa, we've got a situation that they build these wind farms and solar farms out in the boondoes, and now they realize there's no way to get that power onto the national grid. Now they want to spend 218 billion rand to up the national grid to get hold of this green energy. I don't know how long it's going to take to build those lines and how much corruption and theft and fraud will happen during the building process. And in 10 or 20 years' time, there will be a commission of inquiry to find out what happened to the 218 billion rand, and there will still be no wires. But that's not a good part of it. AFSA has done a presentation on that, and the reality is that they want to spend that 218 billion rand building power lines, which will not add 1 kilowatt hour electricity to the grid. And those power lines must service renewable plants that are only producing 25% of the time. So how clever is that? The fucking cleverness is broken. That's what it is. These things don't work. They cannot give real relief to the country. They're there for a money-making fucking racket, for a few elites, and in the meantime, total economy is destroyed, people's lives are destroyed, for a farce. And don't get me wrong, renewables has got a space, but not this type of space that they do trying to force it into. Renewables on your house, solars on your house makes 100% sense. Because every kilowatt that you produce from the solar panels you don't need to buy. So you score money, plus you take pressure off the grid. But none of that is managed properly. None. And all we hear about is obstacles. Why homeowners cannot feed into the grid, and if they feed into the grid they must first buy a 15,000 rand meter and cock like that. All that type of shit. Always obstacles. But why? The question is why? Because there's a lot of politicians and their cohorts that are making a fucking fortune out of our suffering with electricity. Imagine what the government is making in VAT on all the solar equipment that is sold. Imagine that. And then you've got this moonshot, shitshot pack making a lot of noise and promising a lot of cuck. The reality is, you should go and confront each one of those politicians that so bravely paraded at that conference. Face each one of them and tell them to tell you the truth about renewables. The truth. Not the bullshit, the truth. But they will not. Why not? Because they're in the gang. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. The sharing is very important, and I want to thank those that are supporting the channel financially. It really helps me a lot and I appreciate it. Thank you.